Welcome back to the channel for Right Time Watches here in Denver, Colorado. Today we have the marvelous opportunity to share one of Grand Seiko's newest watches with you. This is the Grand Seiko SLGA001, a titanium dive watch with an impressive spec sheet. Before we dive into all the details on this amazing wristwatch, we'll invite you to subscribe to our channel so you catch all of our upcoming videos on hot releases just like this. Alright, we'll go ahead and unbox this gorgeous beast. As you can see, this box is just a hair different from the other Grand Seiko boxes we've had in the past. This one is much longer. The box just a little bit different shape. Inside this lower box here, we've got warranty information and information on the spring drive movement. Now we'll go ahead and open up this inner box and get a look at the watch. Oh my. This is lovely. We've got this nice insignia of the 60th anniversary here on the top, and inside we've got this gorgeous watch. For 60 amazing years, Grand Seiko has been building watches to the highest quality one could ask for. In honor of that 60th anniversary, they've pulled out all the stops and have put out several different watches, including this one, that show exactly what they're capable of. This beautiful wristwatch comes from the Grand Seiko Sport Collection and is a limited edition of only 700 pieces. Obviously, this is a diver watch, and you can see there on the dial, it's a professional diver with water resistance up to 600 meters. Grand Seiko has been experiencing a meteoric rise in the watch industry over the past couple of years, and watches like this are absolutely the reason why. This watch has an impeccable movement that we'll discuss here in a little bit, and the finishing on every surface is absolutely perfect. The dial on this watch is a deep and intriguing blue that contrasts beautifully with the white indices and the hands on the watch. You'll see there at 9 o'clock there's a power reserve indicator, and if you take a look down at the bottom of the dial, you'll see that the power reserve on this beast lasts for 5 days. It's a spring drive movement, which we've talked about before, but they've made some massive upgrades for the movement inside of this watch. You see we have a date window down here at 4 o'clock, which matches the 4 o'clock crown. Grand Seiko written at the top, and with this broad arrow minute hand and almost cathedral style hour hand, we have a fantastic, beautiful compilation of styling here. This watch comes with a perfect ceramic dive bezel, the action of which is really smooth and feels different from anything I've handled in the past. It's got a nice click, but it doesn't ratchet the way that you're used to with a dive bezel. As you take a look at the case here, you see the marvelous finishing that is applied on all these Grand Seiko watches, this one being no exception. The perfectly signed Grand Seiko crown, along with brushed and polished surfaces on this lightweight titanium watch, are a real feat. The bracelet is absolutely beautiful and matches perfectly with the overall aesthetic of this chunky diver case. The clasp and buckle are really stand out as well. You see here we've got that gorgeous Grand Seiko logo on this fold-over clasp. Here we've got a double push button deployant clasp that opens up nicely. And if you take a look, you see this right here is part of the ratcheting system for changing the length of the watch. If you pull back gently on this fold-over clasp and then slide it out, that's how you get the extra length using this really neat system. You can use this for going over a wetsuit, or even if you just need a couple millimeters like this on a hot summer day. It gives you that flexibility. This was really well executed and an even better design. Because this is a 600-meter water-resistant watch, we've got a sealed, closed case back here on the back. You see there in the center, you've got that gorgeous Grand Seiko lion logo, and surrounding that, we've got information about the limited edition status, the 60th anniversary, and the water resistance. Grand Seiko has become very well known for their spring drive movements, and with this watch they release a brand new caliber, the 9RA5, which takes the spring drive technology and ratchets it up a few extra notches. The profile on this watch is able to be thinner than a standard spring drive because that new movement has some adjustments made to make it overall thinner as well. In addition to that, they add greater power reserve, and the winding is just as efficient. In addition to all that, this new caliber is accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds per month. This is quite a chunky watch, so you should know what you're getting into when researching this bad boy. I'll get some measurements for you so you can get a better idea of what that might be. Right about 47 millimeters in diameter. The lug to lug for a watch this size is really short at just over 50. And the thickness, quite manageable as well at 15.7. Here's a look at the watch on my 8-inch wrist. You guys hear me talk about it a lot, but this watch with a shorter lug to lug of just over 50 millimeters could be very wearable for much smaller wrists than my own. The thickness is relatively significant, but you're getting a professional grade chunky dive watch here made of all high intensity titanium, so it's very light and wearable. I do want to show you one other thing as far as the wearability goes. A look at the side profile of the watch shows you that that shorter lug to lug works perfectly with these end links that angle downward sharply. Truly, the length of the watch is no more than that 50.7 that we saw there on the calipers, and this bracelet angles downward sharply and would be very comfortable for a much smaller wrist than mine. I also thought it would be worth taking a look at the powerful Lume on this dive watch. As you can see, if you were to take this down into the dark ocean, you'd have no trouble seeing what time it is, and you've got that Lume pip at the top to help you track the elapsed time. As I'm sure you can imagine, we handle a lot of wristwatches working here at Right Time, but this watch truly impresses each and every one of us. The finishing that goes into this titanium, as well as the details on the dial, and not to mention that amazing new movement. This watch is an absolute home run, and we couldn't be more pleased to recommend this to any of our buyers looking for a professional specification luxury dive watch. If you'd like to purchase this or any of our other watches, please visit us at righttime.com or give us a call and we'd be happy to talk it over with you. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time at Right Time.